Yuan Li by T-Force, $119 in a very competitive price bracket. Now this has been hyped in the community for the past month and a half. People have tried the pre-release version. A lot of reviewers got their hands on it. Everyone loved it. I have not found one negative review on the Yuan Li just yet. And when the final tuning came out, they changed the tuning a little bit towards the end there. The final tuning came out and the final tuning got into the hands of the public. Still no negative review. Everyone seemed to love the Yuan Li. And today, I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I actually think about it. Do I like it? Is this gonna be the first ever negative Yuan Li review? Or am I gonna love it just as much as everyone else? We'll never know until we find out. Let's jump right into the unboxing. Welcome to the unboxing of the Yuan Li. Look at this beautiful front of the box here. Gorgeous design. Gotta be one of the most beautiful looking box I've ever gotten for any IEMs under $200. The back of the box, more information on the IEM. Let's open up the box now. You pull up the sleeve and there it is, the inside box. Just all black, sleek, and fashionable. Inside the box, you get an assortment of things. The IEM, of course, beautiful. The case, of course, beautiful. Big, probably never gonna use it. Inside the case, lovely cables, one of the best cables you'll get with any IEMs under 150, and of course an assortment of tips, balance tips, foam tips, and bass boost tips. Basically all the tips you ever need for a lifetime. Hey friends, Timmy, welcome back to another video on Giz Audio. Today we have the Yuan Li by T-Force, and my God, are these beautiful. When you hold these in hand, not even in hand yet, when you unbox these, right? As you unbox them, as you put it together, as you look at the assortment of tips and accessories, you're thinking to yourself right now, are these really $119? They seem to be too well constructed, maybe have too many accessories, maybe too high quality of accessories as well. The box is a little bit too beautiful for $119. But hey man, that's the truth, $119. And it's everything about it as a product, the build quality, the all metal construction, everything just feels downright premium. Feels expensive in hand, and that's always appreciated when you're spending anything over $100. So yes, Yuan Li in the build category, packaging category, top notch. But we're here for sound, so let's jump into it. What do these sound like? So first of all, let's talk about the bass. Now the bass on these are smooth. There's so much bass, but it's so smooth. You feel thumps and slam in the mid bass for sure, but for whatever reason, it feels just more smooth. You know, the delivery more relaxing. You still feel that energy, that hits and slam. It's still well pronounced, but it's so nice. Like, it feels good to listen to. Sub bass on these are also nice as well. Gives a little bit of that rumbly sensation, but you will get more of that kind of thump and slam with these for sure. And the transition from that bass into the lower mid-range, the male vocals, is also very nice. There's a little bit of coloring, there's a little bit of warmth between the bass and the male vocals, but in general, it's quite nicely transitioned from the bass to that lower mid-range regions. Really nicely done, smooth, and it's warm. The bass quality on these, again, they're very enjoyable, very likable. One can even say musical in a way that it comes across as just very, almost just one wave of bass, like a wave of just smooth, soft, rolling bass. It's just really, really nicely done here. So for bass, really solid. Moving on to the mid-range, like I said again, the lower mid-range does have a little bit of coloring. The bass does bleed into the mid-range just a little bit, not too much to where it is a detriment in any way, but it will feel like the male vocals and the bass are close together. So they're not really the most well-defined, the most well-separated area in this IEM, but it's not really a detriment in any way, like I said. Overall, it gives just a really nice and warm, relaxing listening experience. So for those of you who are into IEMs like the Blonde 03, you're gonna like the Yuan Li 100%. And I would go as far to say that if you're looking for a Blonde 03 upgrade, Yuan Li is a great Blonde 03 upgrade. If you like the warmth in Blonde 03, you'll like the Yuan Li 100%. So there you go. For those of you out there who's looking for a Blonde 03 upgrade for the longest time, you finally have one right here. On to the upper mid-range, this is really much tamed down. The female vocals and just instruments in the upper mid-range area do feel like they're on a similar level to the bass response. And for those of you who've tried a lot of IEMs, you guys all know that it does kind of make the female vocals feel slightly bit behind the bass or slightly bit veiled at times. So it's not gonna be the most pronounced female vocals out there. It's not gonna be the most forward and energetic female vocals experience. So if you're listening to an anime soundtrack, you're listening to K-pop, J-pop, a lot of female vocals, these are actually not my favorite to listen to them on because of that little bit of veiledness, a little bit of that lack of energy overall in the female vocals. It's there, it's present, but it's just so on par with the bass in terms of volume that it just doesn't feel like it's jumping out or distinct. Male vocals on the Yuan Li sound much better than the female vocals on the Yuan Li for sure. Moving on to the treble area. The treble area here, it does have some sparkle, it does have some treble energy. It's enough to be considered fun, but it's not enough to be considered like sparkly or bright in any given way. It's kind of like the bass response where it has an overall smoother experience while having just sufficient level of energy and not just coming across too bright or too peaky. There's no sibilance to be found in this treble. So for those of you who are treble sensitive, you're not gonna find any sibilances here, and which is really nice for someone like me who's really treble sensitive. But yeah, it has sufficient energy. I wouldn't say it has outright shiny or bright type of energy. It's not like the HC Heart Mirror. It's not the Tinti 4. It's not the Legacy 4. Nothing like that. It has, again, quite a tame, smooth, relaxing treble, but still having just enough energy, yeah. On to the technicalities, the details, the imaging, and the sound stage overall. Let's start with the details. So details on these for the price that it's at is good, is sufficient. There's nothing that I would say is too veiled except for maybe the female vocal area. But in overall detail retrieval across the ranges, these do a good job. They're competitive for the price that they're at. They do fall a bit short of some IEMs at similar prices. I'll talk more about that in the comparison section. But overall, good levels of detail. Separation is also good for the most part, except for, again, from the bass to the lower mid-range. They do feel quite close. So separation there, not so good, but the rest of it, it's all right. Imaging on these are average. I wouldn't say they're pinpoint. It's more like, okay, this group of instrument right here, this group of instrument right here. In terms of depth, and this is where it's impressive, there's depth. So instrument feeling farther away, instrument feeling closer to you are gonna come across quite nicely on these. And that's a surprising trait that I don't see often in IEMs sub $200. Under $200 IEMs are not gonna do depth fairly well as IEMs that are more expensive, but these do have that quality now, not too much of it. Not gonna compete with a really good $300, $400 IEM in this department, but what I'm saying is that it at least has that quality or enough of that quality to be present or to be noticeable to the ear. So with that, I enjoy. In terms of soundstage, these do feel quite wider than average. They feel nice. They don't feel just inside your head. I think it's because of the little bit of treble energy that it has and also the sub bass extension. These have a wider feeling soundstage than your average IEMs out there. But is it the widest? No, by no means the widest, but it is wider than what a lot of people are gonna be used to. All right, now on to the comparison segment. We have here Moondrop ARIA, FIO FH3. Now we're gonna do the FH3 first. I know you guys wanna hear about the ARIA, but good things come to those who wait. So we're gonna wait on that for a bit. FH3 versus Yuan Li. Now these two, I would say in the bass, Yuan Li is smoother. FH3 has more bass, but Yuan Li overall feels more satisfying, feels more natural. It's just smoother listening experience overall in the bass segment. It really depends on what you want. If you want just more bass, FH3. If you want a more natural sounding bass, it's the Yuan Li. Mid-range, male vocals. Yuan Li wins. The slight bit of warmth really carries the male vocals a long way, makes them feel full, makes them feel lush. They just feel more beautiful off the Yuan Li. While the female vocals, the FH3 does better. It just has more energy, sounds more distinct, sounds more forward. The treble extension on these are also better than the Yuan Li, giving the female vocals more energy and more life in general. So for female vocals, the FH3 wins. Overall treble response, that's really up in the air. Like quite literally up in the air. If you want more airy sound, more treble, more sparkle, then you go with FH3. But if you want more smoother experience, you want to avoid any peaks or sibilances whatsoever, then you go with the Yuan Li. Between the two, which one do I like better? I would say the edge goes to the Yuan Li for overall smoother listening experience. I do enjoy the sound stager of the Yuan Li a bit more than I do on the FH3. Technicality wise, I would say they're about on the same level. Yuan Li is gonna be better in imaging and the FH3 is gonna have a wider stage. Now on to the comparison everyone's waiting for. ARIA versus Yuan Li. Now this is my baby. I love the ARIA. You guys know that. I talked about the ARIA in multiple videos. I said it's still the best IEM you can get under 100. And I still stand by that, by the way, because these are 119, technically not under 100. So under 100, the ARIA is still king, all right? But in comparison with each other, how do they compare? The bass response, again, the Yuan Li has just a smoother, more natural feeling bass. Now the ARIA is gonna slam and hit with more distinction. If you want more authoritative, more distinct hitting bass, then the ARIA is better. But if you want just a big wave of bass, a smooth bass response, then Yuan Li wins. I would say in the bass, I don't think any one of these are better than the other. It's really just up to preference at that point. When it comes to vocals, ARIA completely destroys the Yuan Li in the vocal department. Male vocals are quite similar. Yuan Li is gonna be a bit warmer than the ARIA, but overall the ARIA just has really good clarity, whether that being male vocals or female vocals, the ARIA is just gonna do that better. In terms of treble, I would say that Yuan Li does better than the ARIA. The Yuan Li just has a little bit more of that treble energy, smoother feeling treble as well. The treble on the Yuan Li is actually quite nicely done. I would say that for those of you who want something brighter, you might not like either one of these, to be honest, if you want something really bright. But in terms of a smoother, less offensive, less aggressive treble while still having a little bit of energy, I'd go with the Yuan Li as the winner in this category. So overall, which one would I pick between the two? This is really hard, man. Really hard to decide. I would say that in the bass department, I do prefer the Yuan Li's bass a bit more, but vocals, definitely the ARIA, treble, a little bit on the Yuan Li side. In terms of soundstage, they're competitively wide. Also, imaging are really competitive with each other as well. In terms of details, overall, I would say the ARIA feels tighter in its responses, more distinct. The attack and the decay is just a little bit tighter, while the Yuan Li has a more smoother, more musical type experience. The ARIA just feels a little bit more analytical, if you will. So really hard to decide. In terms of value, I would still give it to the ARIA because this is $79. It is $40 cheaper than the Yuan Li. But in terms of just head-to-head battle, which one is better than each other? I really can't decide, man. They're both great. It's just whatever signature you want to grab. And I would say $40 difference is really not a huge difference in price. So you're gonna pick between one of these two. Just, man, I can't decide. If you were to put a gun to my head, one or two, I can't decide. They're both great. If you really need to stay under 100, then of course this. If your budget stretch above $100, then Yuan Li is a great consideration, especially if you want that really good build quality, you want the premium packaging, premium accessories that the ARIA just doesn't have. The ARIA's accessory sucks. Like, it really sucks. Like, it's Moondrop's bare bone accessory, right? In comparison to the Yuan Li feels much more of a premium product. The cable on the Yuan Li is also better. So there's a lot about the Yuan Li that's better. Although when it comes to sound, they're pretty even. All right, guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I'm sorry I couldn't pick the definitive winner between these two. They're really just great, man. They're really just great. You should really try them both, to be honest with you. But yes, thank you again so much for watching. Check out our Facebook group. You get all these videos early. We also do giveaways on the Facebook group as well. I'll leave that link below. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.